What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Primetime Sports Podcast with Joey Mailari. Today's very special episode, I have my friend coming on, the sports guru Mike Hurley, to come on and talk everything NHL from the Bruins to the new head coach vacancy, and then all the way to the Stanley Cup and what he thinks is going to happen in tonight's Game 5 between the Lightning and the Avalanche. So, going to get him on right now and get things going. Here we are back on now, the sports guru Mike Hurley coming in to talk Stanley Cup playoffs, like I said, the finals. He's going to give his opinion about what's going to happen tonight in Game 5. We'll talk some Red Sox, some Devers, talk Bruins, talk everything sports. That's what he does. He's the guru for a reason. How we doing, Mike?
That's right. We're doing good. Good Friday.
There we go.
To talk a little sports. Last day of the Stanley Cup today.
Last day. I don't know about that. I think the Lightning take tonight's game, extend the series, make it 3-2. But what have you been seeing in the Lightning series? I know you've been rooting for the Avs, so I'd imagine you've been happy with what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think I want the Avs to win, just get a little variety out there. Lightning have been in the Cup 3 straight years, but going into it, I told you, I said that the Lightning were underdogs, so they would have been the better pick as a betting man.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
I like the Lightning.
I think it's over tonight. The Avs look like the team of destiny this year. Everything's bouncing their way. They got that nice OT win on the road. Coming home 3-1, playing at Mile High rink. I think it's going to be a done deal tonight.
Yeah,
not necessarily a blowout, but I think it's all over.
I mean, look at the games they've been playing, though. A lot of them are besides, Game 2 was, a blowout, 7-0 Avalanche, and then Game 3. But Game 1 was 4-3 Avalanche, and then Game 4 was 3-2 Avalanche. Both those games being at OT. So it's not like besides Game 2, obviously the Lightning got blown out 7-0. But I think the Lightning could stay in this game. I think they could stick and make this series extend, make it go back to Tampa Bay, and then anything can happen though. If it goes back to Tampa Bay, you never know. They just got to stick to their guns they have.
It's tough to win an elimination game, but and I actually think that Tampa is the better roster on paper. It's just it's a lot of miles the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. The team that hasn't won yet, they're probably hungrier, and they've got their legs. A couple of the guys on Tampa are banged up. I think Kucherov is hurt.
Braden Point. Yeah.
Point. I mean, he's arguably their best offensive player.
Point's been banged up the whole playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't really been playing much.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goalie there, he's struggling.
Vasilevsky.
He's struggling.
Yeah, you're not a big Vaz guy.
No, I mean, he's good. I went to a game this year. Pasta scored a hat trick on him. But what are you going to do? He's good. He's a good goalie. He's a big goalie. And he's probably just tired himself.
Yeah.
Deep runs in a row.
Yeah. He's struggling.
He's on the ice all game.
Yeah.
And,
in the Stanley Cup Final, he's 1-3, obviously, with them being down 3-1, but he saved 128 shots and 144 opportunities, so an 88.9% save percentage, and he was elite.
Not too good.
He was elite, though, in the past few series. He was playing really well. Obviously, this one caught up to him. But I think the story of it, like you said, maybe his health. Braden Point being out doesn't help the Lightning. And then also you look at the Avalanche. Seems like they are hungrier. I know the Lightning winning 2 straight years probably maybe burned out. I know winning 3 in a row I'm sure they want to do. But I think at the end of the day, a team that's a new team like the Avalanche, like you said, they might be hungry and maybe want it more. And you look at Cale Makar. I know you're a big Cale Makar guy. I'm not the biggest fan. But
I said he should have been the number 1 pick in the draft this year. And redraft, he would be.
Yeah, he would be now. What was he, the 4th pick, I think?
He's 4th pick, I think. Yeah.
4th pick, but hey, he's great. Having a great Stanley Cup Final. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. 23 years old, too, so really young. And if you look at...
He won the Norris Trophy this year, right?
Yeah, yep, he did.
I don't know about that. I think he's got the offensive game. He's not Victor Hedman. I think Victor Hedman is still the best defenseman in the league.
And that's the Lightning right there.
He took some time to develop. He used to not be as imposing as he is now, but he does it all. And he's a horse back there.
Yeah.
Two-time Cup champ now. But even him, he's a big guy. A lot of miles on the legs the last 3 years. Just coming up short. He actually had a pretty nice goal, backhand goal for Hedman on the rush.
He did, yeah. But, I mean, I think...
Last game, I think.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that was also, like we were saying right before we got on here, we were talking about the controversial goal, and obviously you never want to lose in a controversial goal. But I think, at the end of the day, I think that maybe that can give the Lightning some juice for tonight's game. I think that could maybe think, we lost on a controversial goal.
I think it's deflating.
It could be. At the end of the day, you still have life, though. You still have life.
Juice, but how long does it last? 10 minutes?
You still have life, though, right? You still have life. That's how I see it, you know?
You got life as long as the series is alive, but I don't see it coming. I mean, coming out of a road OT win, then losing in devastating fashion. I mean, you got to, lick your wounds and get back to it, but I think Colorado, they can taste it,
Yeah.
At home, crowd's going to be insane. Everyone's going full force.
Mm-hmm.
They want to parade that cup around today. So
So you were saying coming off a road OT win,
them to come out and finish it.
I
don't think they're
agree.
Win 7-0, but I think they take it tonight.
I'm rooting though for the Lightning because I had them winning. I think in 6 games originally. Obviously, 6 games isn't possible now. Now they'd have to win in 7 if they were to win. But I think it could fire them up. I know, like you said, losing like that at home, not the easiest thing. Now you have to go on the road, try to recover or win now. But I think with the backs against the wall, you never know. Some teams react differently than others. Look at the Rangers were down 3-2 multiple times. They came back and won 2 series. So I guess it's possible they can come back. They still have life. And if you look at it, look at their whole roster. Like a lot of these guys have already won before, so they have experience. Coming back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Obviously, winning 2 straight years helps, but a lot of experience on this roster. So I wouldn't quit on them just yet. If they were to win tonight, I think it's a new series, 3-2. Just got to win 2, then you're playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving me both teams full health, I'll take the Lightning.
Yeah,
I think they're the better team. I don't think it's their year. I think Colorado's got it. They got the speed, the young legs, and they're hungry for it. And Tampa's banged up. I think it's as simple as that. Also, I'm not a big believer in the Rangers. I think they got a little farther than they should have. There's some controversy about Crosby being sat out despite wanting to play. I picked the Penguins in the first series. I stand by the pick.
Yeah, I know you like the Penguins.
I think there was something there. I don't know.
I know you like the Penguins.
And they talk about a team that's depending on the goalie. I mean, Vasilevsky's great, but Rangers there, they depend on that Igor Shesterkin to just stop 45 pucks a night,
He did play really well, though, for them, especially in a lot of their games, elimination games, when their backs were against the wall. He was elite. Even the game they lost. Even the last game they lost, he gave them a chance. And that's the thing. You look at the Avalanche roster, a lot of guys, a lot of production. You look at, obviously, like you said, Cale Makar, we talking about. Mikko Rantanen, 8 assists.
Some randos.
Yeah, multiple guys I didn't know who they were.
Scoring goals, it's that gets you feeling like you're going to win it.
I look at Mikko Rantanen.
Some guy scored his first goal, on the team last game, I think.
Yeah, there was a guy. Yeah, and then
liner, I think he was traded there or something at the deadline.
Nazem Kadri, Josh Manson has a goal. Former Northeastern Husky, Josh Manson, so I'm a fan of him. But Kadri obviously had a big goal in OT. Alex Newhook, BC Eagle, he's got a goal. No, he's got 2 assists, 2 points.
Yep, he had a couple points in that 7-0 drubbing.
He did, yep. And then you look at MacKinnon. He's only got a goal and 2 assists, and that's all. They don't even need that much production out of him because they're getting so many goals and so much production out of other guys.
Yeah. Landeskog's been pretty good.
He's got 3 goals.
Now. Conn Smythe, if the Avalanche win it tonight, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was. I think the Lightning win tonight. If I had to pick a score, I know you said you don't see it being 7-0 Avalanche. You think it could be a closer game. I think the Lightning win tonight 4-2. I think they recover well.
I think you're looking at like a 4-1 Colorado.
I don't know, though. As I said, I think they can return. I know you said losing at home like that can be deflating, and now you have to go play on the road and recover and try to win. But I think at the end of the day, I know, it's different sports, not like the NBA and MLB, where we were talking about before this that
greatest trophy in sports, everybody knows it.
The Stanley Cup. You think that's the hottest trophy to win?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. I feel like
sports. I'm not talking about the World Cup. World Cup maybe, but
yeah, World Cup. We're talking the major 4: NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA.
American sports, not ping pong. And
the big 4 they call the major 4 sports. The ping pong. I think the Super Bowl could be the hardest one to win. Truly, it's one game. It's a single elimination. Single elimination.
It's easier to fluke your way to one win.
Maybe. But at the end of the day, though, you do have a chance to lose in a fluke.
A team of destiny win for the Super Bowl. The 2001 Patriots.
Yeah, Brady threw 140 yards or whatever. Yeah, in the finals, in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the tuck rule and other things, like,
Yeah, maybe you're right there. I'm thinking of
some teams that were favorites, and you can go on doing that. I think today, now it's about the big money quarterbacks, but you still get stuff like OT for Josh Allen and the Bills there. I mean,
yeah,
the Chiefs beat them simply because of that.
Yeah, getting the ball first, winning on a coin toss. But
I mean, shoot, the Bengals, who are,
no offensive line.
The Bengals made it all the way to the Super Bowl. They got no offensive line. I mean,
zero help. Burrow got zero help.
You can get there with good luck. I think you still have to be the best to win it all, but
Yeah, I get that.
It's easier to win one game as an underdog than it is to win 4 out of 7.
That's true. Definitely right there. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll admit that. I was thinking of it that it's harder because it's single elimination.
Tough too, but it's not all 7-game series.
That's true. I was thinking it's harder since it's single elimination, though. You screw up one game, screw up one play, that could be it for your team. You know what I mean? Look at Aaron Rodgers. He had a horrible game in the game against the Niners. They don't win. They lose. They scored, 7 points?
Edit this out? Aaron Rodgers sucks.
You're not a big Aaron Rodgers guy, but I'll tell you this, though. Him losing Devontae Adams, I don't think he's going to have that great of a season. But
yeah, you think so. So you can't think he's that good? Because
I was going to say, though,
top receivers all the time.
I was going to say, I'm sure he'll still throw 25, 30 touchdowns. Even though he's not going to put up 45.
How many games do they play nowadays? They play like 22 games a year now. Everyone throws 22.
17, but I don't think he's going to have a great season, obviously. I don't think he's going to throw 40 touchdowns. I think Rodgers still throws 25, maybe 30. He'll still find ways to score touchdowns. 30, it's a joke. He can still score the ball, though. I think he's a great quarterback. I know you're not a big fan of him, but I think he's a great quarterback. I still think he's a top.
He's a big diva. There's a reason that he doesn't win Super Bowls. Brett Favre's better.
Brett Favre. I don't know, though. Rodgers. Thing about Rodgers, though, is this. Brett Favre threw 1 million interceptions. Rodgers, very accurate quarterback, throws maybe 4 or 5 picks a year.
You only have to think about one thing. How many Super Bowls has Rodgers been to? At least Brett made it to 2, and he won 1.
Rodgers made it to 1, though, and he won.
One.
Still, though, and he won, though.
It's a joke. Pat Mahomes has been to more.
He has. The baby goat, right?
Joe Burrow's been to as many Super Bowls as Rodgers.
Eli Manning's been to 2, though. More than Rodgers.
Better than Rodgers. I'll take Eli.
He's been to more.
Anyways.
He's been to more. But the reason why I think that single elimination makes the Super Bowl harder is because you could have a bad game. A quarterback can have a bad game and you lose because of that. But in a 7-game series, you have to lose 4 times.
A team can have a bad game and the underdog can win. Look at March Madness.
You're right.
You see underdog teams, small programs beat big programs because they get up for 1 game. If they're going to play, 10 times, 7 times, whatever, they're not going to beat them every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. They have St. Peter's played Kentucky in a 7-game series. Kentucky's winning.
It's a worse model. I think there's entertainment to it.
Yeah.
Everybody can sit there and watch 1 game, but, when there's a lot of games to watch in a row, the same matchup, you might lose the casual fan after a while.
I get that.
I think the Stanley Cup playoffs, everybody is excited for round 1 because there's more fan bases involved, and then as it drags on, a couple months of playing all these games, it's usually just the hometown teams fans are watching.
I get that.
In the finals, you might get more guys clicking in to watch. But
that's kind of like the World Series. People don't pay attention really to the World Series or if their team's in it, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Like no one's watching, the NLCS, but they're going to watch the World Series, really. I feel like that's similar.
That's right. It's good to be in a good sports market, You want a competitive team so your team goes deep.
That's true. And speaking of that, though, we can talk about the Bruins, too, obviously. Firing Bruce Cassidy was not an easy move to make. I know you were a big Bruce Cassidy guy. Speaking of, but you say a winning market, the Bruins made the Stanley Cup playoffs 6 out of 6 years with them. So that's a winning market right there. And they made, obviously, a Stanley Cup Final with them. Had a very good record with him in Boston, 245 wins, 108 losses.
Jack Adams Award winner.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year.
He did, yeah. Coach of the Year, 2019, was it? 2019-2020 season.
I think so.
Became the Bruins head coach during the 2016-2017 season, and then look at that, 6 straight years making the playoffs.
And they made the playoffs his first year he started, right around the deadline. They're out of the playoffs, and he pushed the team into the playoffs when they probably shouldn't have been there. So.
Yep, yeah. He did. Did he come in mid-season that year?
Yeah,
he did, right?
A little more than mid-season, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I actually forgot it was during the season like that. But if you look at it, though, his record was great with the Bruins, though. Honestly, I mean, that's why I was shocked about it. about them getting rid of him. 245 wins, 108 losses, 46 overtime losses. But if you look at it, though, at the end of the day, I know it's a business, so obviously you got to do what's best for the team. But I feel like he connected well with the roster and the team. And I know obviously it's Sweeney's decision. I know you're not a big Sweeney guy. I don't think really anyone is. But if you look at it, though, 6 straight years to the playoffs. Get rid of him after that. I think that's tough. Maybe it's because the Bruins lost in the first round this year. Maybe that's the reason they said we got to get over the hump. I don't know, but what are your opinions on it?
There is a rumor out there that the ownership wants to make it to the second round, get enough home playoff games to make money because the league revenue you stop sharing money when the playoffs start. So more home games, they're making like $4 or $5 million a game.
Yeah,
what the heck they make, all sellout crowds.
It is a business. It is sports in general.
Yeah, it's a business, but
sports in general.
GMs usually last longer than coaches. GM hires a coach, gets to fire the coach, and then the next coach.
Yeah,
I
get that.
See GMs make it through 2 coaches or so.
That's the same thing kind of in football. Dave Gettleman obviously had Shermer and then got a chance with Joe Judge. I think it should be the reverse, though. I feel like if you get rid of the head coach, get rid of the GM too and maybe restart. I don't know about hockey, but I know in the NFL, Dave Gettleman should have been fired when Shermer left.
Well, if you get a new GM, he's going to want a new coach. So
yes.
It's easier to fire the coach and keep the GM.
Yeah.
And just hire one new position.
Yeah.
If you have to hire a GM and a coach, then you really...
flip-flop.
Yeah, you're flying without a pilot there, so...
Yeah, I think the dangerous thing with that is... Yeah.
Because it's easier, but... Yeah, no, I'm a Bruce guy. He's well-spoken, too, so, fans like to hear from him because he's blunt and honest and doesn't sugarcoat it usually. He'll call guys out.
Yeah.
But he always says he calls, Jake DeBrusk is the big one. He calls out DeBrusk for not trying, not skating. DeBrusk thinks he's, David Pastrnak out there, but he isn't.
Hey, he had a good year, though.
Doesn't skate on the back check. No, I mean, he's got the talent. You don't ride a guy hard if he doesn't have the talent.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm of the more old school style where I think it's okay to ride guys and demand more of them, but
yeah,
the millennial players, these DeBrusks of the world think that they should be Brad Marchand without putting in the work of Brad Marchand, who started in the AHL just like Jake. He was on the 4th line first. Jake used to play with David Krejci right away.
Yep.
And then Marchand works his way up to Bergeron's line. 2011, they win the cup, and he doesn't look back. He skates with Bergeron the rest of the time, but he puts in the work.
Came up from the AHL, too. He grinded, you know what I mean? DeBrusk first-round pick.
He was a rookie at 24, And he actually had, until Jake Gensel broke it, the rookie goals record for the Stanley Cup playoffs. 11 goals his rookie year in the playoffs.
Really? Wow. Yeah, he's a stud right away.
So
he came up
I don't think
hot.
McDavid even got up to 11 Stanley Cup playoff goals until this year, and he's been in the league for a little while.
That's true.
Fun fact out there for people.
No, that is a good fun fact. I didn't even know that. But I think the thing with DeBrusk, though, is I know when he got moved up to that first line, he was playing great. I know you credit it, obviously, because he's with Bergeron and Marchand.
Some great players, yeah. And Bergeron's coming back.
Bergie's coming back. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I sort of knew that. I knew he'd be back.
1-year deal. How do you feel? I'm sure you're psyched, though.
I'm just happy, If you want to watch your favorite players and your team be good, you don't want to go through a bad year. That's how I feel.
That's me with the Giants, dude. 20 years now we've been.
I don't want to go buy Bruins tickets if I don't get to watch Bergeron skate around out there and the Bruins win some games. So
I get that.
I'm happy about it. Some people are mad because they think the Bruins will be too good to lose enough games and get high draft picks, but they'll also be not good enough to really contend for a Stanley Cup.
I don't know.
You never know with other teams how things shake out in the offseason.
Yeah, draft.
Who's the new coach going to be? They
Absolutely.
got development camp coming up in July. I think you got to have a new coach by then. I mean, what are you going to have a bunch of guys show up, skate around, and it's just with the JV team? You're going to have
hang out, yeah.
You're going to have an NHL coach in there to evaluate what's in his farm system so he knows who to call up.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, I'm hoping that Sweeney didn't muff that pick from last year. Fabian Lysell,
yeah, you're a big fan of Mark Walsh, too.
Controversial pick for his personality, I think, but he's high talent. So
not a fan of his personality, he said?
We need the talent. No, well, I guess teams were skittish about picking him because he's got a big ego.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
A lot of stars do.
Kayvon Thibodeau. It can play to your advantage, though, too.
Kayvon Thibodeau, yeah.
You need that energy.
Skating and scoring goals, hopefully. So I'm hoping this guy makes the big club and that he injects a little energy and some scoring and just young guys, they might not be with the system entirely, but you can see flashes of, like, dynamic play.
Yeah.
Like a Pasternak when he came up. He wasn't up scoring 40 goals right away, but he came up, he scored some goals.
Showed talent.
Came up again.
Progressed.
And then they hold him up as an example in the Bruins system that if you guys use your talent, don't be afraid, go make plays, act like you belong. And if you make some mistakes and we got to change up your game, we'll sit you down, but you're going to get another chance.
Absolutely, yeah. I get that.
So
I think the thing with, like you were talking about.
Fast. We need some speed. He's supposed to be fast, supposed to have some moves.
They
I don't
say
know what his shot is, but he's supposed to be a speedy guy.
They say he's a jet, and I know you're talking about energy guys and that being a reason not to draft a guy. I think at the end of the day, you might need a guy to change a culture. I don't know about the Bruins, but I know in football, there's a lot of big personalities in locker rooms. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is a good draft pick for the Giants to go in there, maybe spark them with some energy. I think maybe Lysell maybe gives them some energy too. I don't think a big ego guy is always the worst thing. If they're bringing guys down around them, that is a bad thing. But if they're just giving themselves confidence, I don't think it's that bad. That's how I feel.
I mean, the other thing with football is the team is huge, and you get
53-man roster. Yeah,
I mean, I think on defense especially, like you need energy guys because you make a big hit or
get a sack,
big stop. The guys get fired up because it's all about energy, effort, emotions. So
yeah, absolutely.
On defense, you kind of want some knuckleheads, so to speak, because guys like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, like these guys are animals and
freak athletes. Yeah, definitely.
You want those guys on your team. You don't want everyone on the team to be, Boy Scouts.
I get that. And hey, Lysell, though, I'm looking at a couple of his stats this year. He played for the Vancouver Giants. 22 goals, 40 assists, 62 points in 53 games. 22 goals is great. 40 assists as well. I'm sure he'll play probably in the AHL for a year, right? No? Or is he going straight into the Bruins?
First round, they should probably give a guy like that should get a shot if they think he's
ready,
good to go. I mean,
19 years old.
Who's he going to take the ice time from? Like, I mean, love the guy, but Trent Frederick isn't out there going to as a threat to score many goals.
No, he isn't. No, I'm with you.
The bottom six, you got guys like Craig Smith. He couldn't hit the net to save his life for the last month or so.
He did have a 10-game streak, though. He was going off. Him and Holler were really good.
Yeah, but streaky players, sometimes you got to mix up the lines or throw some young talent in there just to get people going. I mean, even DeBrusque got sat down and he played better after it. He pouts about being sat down, but
you're right, yeah.
It did kind of spark him,
Definitely.
What was the other guy? Holla was having a terrible year. He had like one goal through 20 games or something. They sat him down, comes back, plays with Hall. Stats were better, and they put Pasternak down there, and they were doing great. And he was a ghost in the playoffs because
he wasn't that great.
A second-line center, and Sweeney can't draft.
Definitely,
that's the big issue. We got no one coming up the ranks to be a top-line center, be a second-line center.
Yeah,
we don't have anyone. You need to draft offensive talent, and he just isn't good at it.
That's the thing, though. I think they should try to figure something out, get rid of him. Obviously, it seems like they're keeping him for another year.
He's just not going to do it.
Is he in the AHL, right?
What?
He's in the AHL, right?
He's AHL. He bounces back and forth. He's like one of the first guys they call up if somebody's hurt. But he looks more like a third, fourth line type of player.
Yeah. 3 assists, though, in 15 games.
They say he's offensive, but he just doesn't have it at the pro level.
I get that.
Not in the NHL, anyways.
Yeah, I get that.
He just hasn't shown it. I mean, could he develop it? Maybe. But
speaking of centers, though, Mark McLaughlin came up. I know he's not going to be a big piece probably of the team, but 3 goals in 11 games last year.
Yeah, I got no problem with him. He's probably more like third line guy.
Fourth line, maybe third or fourth, right?
Third, fourth. Yeah. I mean, he did better than Foligno, I think. I don't know.
He's a big body.
Decent.
He's a big body.
He's not very physical, though.
No, he's not. He should use it, though.
Big body. But, size is size. Good long reach. Good shot.
He should use his size, though, more than he does, though. I don't know why he does it. Maybe he'll develop
so
that.
should DeBrusque. He doesn't hit anyone.
Hey, DeBrusque, though, I know you're going at him a ton, but 25 goals, 17 assists, 42 points.
Yeah, sure.
He had a solid year, though, goals-wise. 25 goals was good enough to be third on the team, tied for Bergeron for third.
I'd still rather have Matt Barzal. Barzal,
yeah, that's a tough one. Because he was picked right before, right?
DeBrusk has talent. I don't say the guy doesn't have talent. He actually has a very good, he has good hands with his stick. He stops bad pucks, catches them, shoots, passes, but he's mostly an off-the-rush guy. Some of them, I'm not going to critique anyone too bad in hockey because even the best players score goals off their skates or off their leg.
Yeah, this fluke goals.
The puck goes in the net is what matters, right?
Fluke shots.
Take anything you can get at some point.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Sometimes he flashes something, you're like, why doesn't he do this all the time? Other games, he doesn't even seem like he touches the puck once.
Seems like he doesn't care sometimes, too, but, he played hard, though. After he requested that trade, I thought he was, a lot of people were coming at him. I thought he was, not giving it his all. And then he started scoring goals. It seemed like he cared. Still, I give him credit for this, too, though. Guys I know in other sports want to quit, get traded. They don't play. They don't care. He still played. Yeah. He still went out there.
You don't see it as much in hockey, but there's some things that you can feel good about with him.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want him to be good. He was a Bruins draft pick. Of those three guys picked in a row, him, Zboril, and Senyshyn, he's probably the one who you say, he's definitely an NHL player.
Yeah.
You just wish he would be better.
Yeah.
He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got a good shot, he's got some good moves even.
Definitely.
I went to a playoff game 7 against Toronto at home, and he scored a big goal. The Bruins end up running away with the game 7-4, but
yeah, he was solid though towards the end of the year.
He kind of jumped on the scene and was great, and then has taken a dip.
Yeah, he has.
You hope that last year playing with Bergeron and Marchand, it's you get to showcase yourself a little bit, but he doesn't play special teams really.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at him in the playoffs. 2 goals, 2 assists. He had 4 points in the playoffs. 2 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
I look at Marchand though. 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. Bruins actually got solid offensive production, kind of. Out of I know it was only one series.
Well, yeah,
but...
it was just that Bergeron and Marchand, who draw the toughest matchup every night, still have to do all the scoring.
They do. Yeah.
I think that Hall and Hollow were pretty quiet. Hall, when he scored a goal game 1, he ended up getting another goal in there, but he was a ghost.
Yeah, that's hard
he
though.
Plays, for being a physical beast, he plays a soft style game. He's always trying to take the puck wide with speed, and he's fast, but it doesn't always work that way in the playoffs. Guys squeeze you off. Guys
it catches up.
Harder.
Yeah, it catches up.
You got to be able to just chip it in. Sometimes Marchand will just go in and play a little dirty to get the puck back and make plays from there. Not everything's gonna be beautiful, off the rush. 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s.
It's not easy. And speaking of Bergeron, how good he is on offense, defensively too. He won the Selke, right? Best defensive forward yet again.
Of course, the best.
He wins that every year. You always say, right? You said he should win it every year.
They had more advanced metrics come out, and Cassidy, one of the things he said is they keep making newer stats for the nerds. Keep making new and new metrics, and Bergeron keeps looking better and better.
He does.
I think he has the highest expected goals for per 60 minutes, 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's some form of wins above replacement. Defensively, he was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Top face-up guy in the league, percentage and total wins.
Yeah.
That's all the stuff they measure by. It's good.
No, he's a very good player.
He goes up against the other team's best players almost every night.
Yeah.
So
5. Hey, he's won 5 Selke awards now. I know you say he could win it every year, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad choice,
Every year. He's got 5 of them now. Also, look at his age, too. 36, he's still killing it.
Yeah. Hey, long story short is he was still our best centerman.
Yeah.
Again. So.
That's your favorite player in all the sports.
Top guys in the league.
He's your favorite player, right, in all the sports, right? So I'm sure you're psyched he's got one more year.
Yeah, has to be.
1 more year, I'm sure you're psyched. I think he'll play 2 or 3 more.
A guy coming up to take the minutes load.
A
guy like that playing 20 minutes, you wish you could preserve him throughout the year, long season.
Definitely.
So that in the playoffs, you can deploy him as much as you need to in a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe they'll be
if you're gonna go
looking
all the
for
way,
something.
Look at these teams, even the Lightning, with all that great talent. They're sort of, the tread on those tires is running low, even for their best players.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I think with Berge, I think he has, obviously that 1 year deal. I think he has 2 to 3 years left in him. Maybe 2 more.
Yeah, guys usually don't quit until they have to. And the guys in hockey, like they're not making $40 million a year, so playing one more year, it does make a difference.
Definitely. So what do you make of David Krejci possibly returning to the Bruins? I know he was on Pasternak's Instagram story a week or two ago now in the IIHF tournament, and they were talking, saying, you know, what's the possibility he returned to the Bruins, something like that, and he smiled. Krejci gave a smile. So is there a possibility he returns back? I know you'd be psyched.
Well, I would have been happy if he came back this year, but I don't know. I mean, ideally you want a new, younger guy.
Yeah.
Ideally. I still think he'd be better than Haula. I mean, he would help. You know, the power play was kind of iffy at some points, and he's a good power play guy. They used to put him up on the top unit in recent years because he was usually running the second unit as power play quarterback. But
yeah, he chewed minutes
he's
too,
good
though.
Good passer, and he's pretty good shot. Could shoot more. That's probably one of the things in his career he could have done a little bit more of.
He's got a great IQ for the game, though.
Yeah, no, and he's another good, pretty good all-around centerman. I think he's underrated on defense. Decent, not great face-off guy.
Yeah,
but makes good plays with the puck, and he's a great passer. You know, that's his game.
That's his specialty right there. So I think it'd be nice to have him back.
I think that being said, preferably the team would be the best if you make an improvement that isn't David Krejci.
I get that. You want a young guy.
I like the player, but it would have been a little more help this year than next year. If you're going back to the guy who is out of the league for a year, another year older, that's a pretty desperate move, I think. You know, and it's just like, what the heck? What were you doing? I mean,
why let him leave? If
a
you
whole
just
other year of chemistry with Hall. And I think he felt he wanted to play with Pasternak because they're fellow countrymen and all that. Coach never let him, or whatever. The team didn't let him. Maybe that's something they were mad at Cassidy about.
That could be.
Potentially legitimate bone to pick there. Potentially.
It could be. But isn't it Cassidy's job to pick the lines?
Move him to a different line when Krejci's gone.
Isn't it Cassidy's job to pick the lines, though? That's the head coach's job, correct? The GM can't say
nobody
anything.
Nobody complains when the Bergeron, Pasternak line is up there scoring goals anyway. So it is tough to break up something that's doing well for you. But
I get that. They
did it this year, and it helped them turn around. They probably should have tried it in earnest when Krejci was here. You know,
definitely. So speaking of Cassidy again, what do you think of him going to the Vegas Knights? I know obviously he goes to a team that's a solid team there in Vegas, obviously, and I'm sure I knew he was going to get picked up right away, so I'm sure he knew, you know, when he got fired by the Bruins, he was going to have, you know, potential suitors. But I thought they kind of just gave up on him too quick. But obviously goes to a good team in Vegas. I'm sure they'll be making a run with him, hopefully. I know you're not a Vegas Knights fan, you know, but you'll be rooting for him, though, because you like him, correct, as a coach?
Yeah. I actually thought Vegas was one of the most impressive teams when they came and played in Boston. It was early in the year, though. They end up having a down season, fired their coach. They missed the playoffs. Yeah. But the roster is loaded.
Very good team. Yeah, very heavy, talented roster. Yeah, heavily talented.
Yeah. And they had some injury problems, too. The guy Martinez got a skate in the face. Eichel, who they traded for, was out for a while. Mark Stone, the captain, was out.
Stone was out,
Kind of struggled a bit. I don't know.
I'm not a big Eichel guy, but Eichel, they traded for him, obviously. He missed some time with the neck injury.
The guy's got a lot of talent, though. He's a good player.
I mean, 14 goals, 11 assists, and 25 points in what was it? How many games did he play? Yeah.
How many games did he play? Only probably.
Checking right now. 34 games.
Like a point-a-game guy, almost.
34, yeah. I mean, he was on minutes restrictions, right?
He's putting his neck, comes back.
Wasn't he on minutes restriction anyways? Like, he was 14 goals, 11 assists, 25 points in 34 games. But he was on a minutes restriction, I'm pretty sure. Or at least somewhat. He didn't play for, you know.
Well, he also wasn't playing with the normal top-line guys because Mark Stone was out. I think Patrice Bergeron was out for a while.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
You know, he's coming in, new team, West Coast. I guess they run some different things.
Definitely.
He used to run the power play up in Buffalo. You come to, Vegas, you just got to conform to whatever they're doing out there. Plus the personnel changing around them. That's pretty solid production. And they didn't get done what they wanted to. So, they had a down year. I expect he'll be better this season.
Well, if Vegas obviously they get help,
right? I mean, that's going to help.
Definitely. And then Mark Stone, though, like you said, only played in 37 games this year, had 30 points, 9 goals, 21 assists, but he didn't play much. And then you look at Cassidy, though, very good defensive coach. So the Bruins are always top in goaltending stats. Like, I think they're top 3 every year in goals against.
Team defensive metrics, they're up there.
Yeah. So I think he's going to help them.
He's usually pretty good on special teams coaching because he says, special teams wins a lot of games during the year. And they've won a lot of teams' games in this playoffs,
Absolutely, yeah.
Usually you don't see as many power plays in the playoffs, but this year apparently there's a lot of young refs calling a lot of penalties. Which,
Absolutely.
Kind of stinks, but
guess that's the name of the game nowadays.
Bruins
though.
routinely with Cassidy were top 5 in power play and in PK.
Yeah, and the 5-on-5, I think the Bruins are top 3. I saw this year in goals against. Very good defensive head coach. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna probably go there and help them out. Who is the Vegas Knights goalie? Let's see here.
Leonard.
Yep. Leonard. 90.78 percentage. It's not bad. It's not great though, but it's okay. 91%.
When he plays.
He's 91%'s all right.
Not the strength of their team is what I would say.
Yeah.
Not the strength.
91%, 90.7% you'll take though. Save percent. It's all right. It's doable. 2.83 goals against though per game. So.
Yeah, they just have great. Lines 1 through 4, really good. Pretty good defensive pairings too. I mean, a lot of depth in the skaters. So.
Yeah. They just missed the playoffs, though. They were 43, 31, and 8, 94 points, right?
But the Western Conference is not nearly as good as the East, so that's underwhelming to miss the playoffs.
I get that, yeah.
I think that is actually a fireable offense.
Probably
the playoffs out there.
Probably the reason, but hey, 94 points though. It's a lot of the time you're at least right on the cusp of making the playoffs though. Typically, 100 points usually.
What did it take this year? In the East, you needed to have like 108 points or 100
something like that. Yeah.
All these teams had.
Sometimes 100 gets you in though, right on the cusp.
Usually.
Yeah, right on there. So usually the barrier, but obviously, it didn't work out for them. But I think he's going to go there, help them out defensively, definitely. And if you look at it though, they do have a lot of talent on their roster, like he was saying. Obviously, Eichel being healthy, that'll be a big question mark. Stone being healthy.
I think he's in an easier conference.
Pacioretty they have, too.
Yeah, I'm not a big Pacioretty guy, but...
You said easier conference?
And he's probably got, right now, as of today, he's going to have a better roster than what the Bruins are going to roll out to begin the year anyways, because McAvoy's on the shelf for a bit.
Marchand, right, too?
Marchand's on the shelf for a bit. I don't know if Pasta has something.
There was one other guy that got a surgery. Grizzlick's the one, yeah.
I don't know if any of those guys are missing time, but...
Grizzlick got a surgery, right, or some type of procedure, didn't he?
Yeah, he apparently had like a dislocated shoulder. Kept getting dislocated throughout the year, so...
Yeah. I know you're a big Grizzlick guy. I know you like Grizzlick. You came on my radio show, PC, to talk about him. BU Terrier.
Yeah, BU Terrier. What are you going to do? Well, that's another thing. In the rumor department, they say that David Quinn, former coach of BU, Coach Grizzlick and McAvoy might be coaching candidate for the Bees, one of the favorites.
Yeah,
I don't know if he would be my top choice, but
he's got experience.
I do think guys who have coached in the league, when they go get their second go-round, they do a little bit better. I think that's across, all sports, major sports anyways. Definitely.
You look at Bruce Cassidy, obviously being the head coach of the Capitals, like you were saying yesterday to me, and then obviously worked his way up from the AHL back, from the Providence Bruins up to the Boston Bruins, and look at that. He did well, 6 years, 6 playoff runs. But yeah, I think Quinn's not a bad coach. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan just because I'm not a fan of BU hockey. But he is a very good head coach at BU. He's unreal. They're a very good team always with him. They were over 500 in 600. They were over 600 in 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 years at BU with him, which is great. Yeah. And the first year he came in mid-season, and that was a really bad season. It was a BU off year, really. 2013, 2014, they were 5-12-3 with him, but. Every year after that, 28-8-5, 21-13-5. I know with the Rangers it didn't work out. He was at a 500 his first year, and then the next 2 years just over 500.
He was given a very young team there too, in a rebuild, and probably got fired a little early.
They cut him short.
They might have made an upgrade in coaching. They might have a better coach now, but they gassed the GM, the coach. Jeff Gordon, the GM there, he drafted Marchand, he drafted Lucic. He drafted some guys who were on the Bruins for a while who were really good. I think he actually traded for Chara, too.
Chiarelli?
No, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, got you.
For a while for the Bruins.
Out of hate second.
Now
Jeff
he's
Gordon
up in Montreal, but he was the Rangers GM, and he's the one who put this whole team together. He drafted all these guys who are playing now, Adam Fox and
very good player.
And all these guys. Not Barzal. Who's the other kid there? Lafreniere and
Hughes.
Stuff.
They have Hughes, right? Do they have Hughes brother?
Capo.
No, they have the Hughes brothers on the Devils.
So.
Devils.
I think Devils got a couple of them, and then one on Vancouver.
But yeah, I think they do have a young roster, the Rangers. But when he started out, obviously didn't work out for him.
Trades. I mean, he traded a lot of those guys down to Tampa Bay, but
yeah, I think they might have pulled the plug short. Quick. They pulled the plug quick. 27-23. They were 500.
If it was up to me, I would have the Bruins go get Jeff Gordon as GM. But
yeah, I know you're not a big Sweeney guy, so I'm sure you'd be happy with anyone.
He can draft young talent.
Definitely.
In a high cap league, you gotta live and die by the draft.
Definitely. I think we were talking about this yesterday between the NFL, NHL, all of those. If you can't draft, like you were saying, I mean, you put yourself in a huge deficit. Yeah. Huge deficit. If you can't draft, look at the Giants. They couldn't draft. They took Eric Flowers, obviously, because Eric Flowers was so bad and the offensive line was so bad. They overpaid for Nate Solder, and then that was an offer. You go to free agency to try to fix your holes. Usually, you'd rather just draft guys.
Not many championships get built in free agency.
None really. I mean, unless you're the Rams. I mean, that's just in trades.
The Rams a little bit.
They're all in trades, really. It's not even free agency, I guess. It's all in trades.
They drafted him.
They drafted Donald, yeah, but they traded for Stafford, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller at the time. They traded for.
Did they draft a Cup?
They drafted Cup. Yes, they drafted Cup.
I mean, the two best players throughout the year and the playoffs, you could say Donald and Cup.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were draft picks.
That's true.
Even though they trade for Ramsey and Stafford and all these guys, they didn't have to go trade for arguably their two best players.
That's true.
At least the two
That's
best
a good point.
players at the time when they won the championship. So
yeah, I didn't think of it that way. You're right. You're right.
I mean, I guess the Bucks, right? They bring Brady in.
The Bucks. Brady brings everyone himself.
A lot of guys too. I mean, all those receivers.
You're a big Brady guy. I know that. So you think he's gonna have a good season, I'm sure. But Gronk retired though. Rob Gronkowski retired. How do you feel about that?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
They still have Gods though. Chris Godwin, he's a beast. Mike Evans, they brought Godwin back on a new deal.
It could just be one of those ploys where Gronk doesn't want to practice in the off season.
Here we are back in. Just as I was trying to save the video, we ended up losing the last 25 minutes. So you guys missed some talk about the Red Sox, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. We talked Devers, talked Bogarts, talked Trevor Story. Tough loss there for the viewers, but tough.
Short is Avalanche are going to win tonight. So
no, I think the Avalanche lose. I got Lightning 4-2. We did agree. If the Avalanche were to lose and the Lightning win, they extend the series. Mike comes back on. He's going to break down the key goals that the Lightning had in the 4-2 victory. You got the Lightning obviously losing, but you'll be rooting for the Avalanche anyways. I'm rooting for the Lightning.
I think Avalanche. It's about time some new team wins it, and they just seem like the team of destiny this year.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
They're healthy. They're flying around. They're scoring goals.
You made a good point though earlier about the health. Braden Point being hurt. Him being a game-time decision for tonight's game, that doesn't help them at all. They're going to be struggling, obviously, if he's out. And then you look at it, the Avalanche just seem to have more juice. Comes down to juice. And they lose the Devers talk.
Bounces, a couple of good bounces, like that overtime goal.
Yeah.
Those go a long way. You won the whole game because of that.
You're right. It's tough for the viewers that lose the Devers talk. We went down the line about how great Devers is.
We know. He's just a great player. Great player.
Give him anything he wants. Leads the league in hits, 85, or is it 90 hits? Number one in the MLB in hits, which I gave a breakdown of all these stats. Yeah, no, I got you. But 90 hits he had, though. Number one in the MLB. And then you look at it, Xander's 85. Both guys need to get paid, but we were talking Trevor Story's probably the reason maybe Xander doesn't get paid, and you got to pay Devers, obviously. JD's having a great year, hitting 328. Story, not too great of a year. 11 home runs, one really good streak, like we were saying, one good week, and then he's only hit 223. So
if they let JD go, does that help them keep Devers and Xander? Or?
Probably, because JD's older. I mean, it's probably the reason they let JD go because of age, and then Xander, I mean, he could get more money from another team, maybe.
He's at the age, too. I mean,
yeah, they're not as valued.
You got to put a little more value on the guy who hits and fields.
Definitely.
Just bats.
Because anyone can DH. Anyone can DH. I'm with you there.
Right, you can get an older guy to DH for a long time, like Poppy for a long time.
And it worked out. Though. He was the cornerstone of the team. I don't see JD being that. You know what I mean? Obviously, so you can let JD walk in. It's not going to turn the franchise over.
He's got the World Series too.
Yeah. If you let Devers leave, though, I think that turns the franchise upside down. Like, you gotta.
Can't do it. That's an unforgivable offense if you let a guy like that go.
Hey, but Aaron Judge hasn't been paid either. I know he got the arbitration figured out today, $19 million.
Little rumor Judge to the Red Sox.
You never know. He's 27 home runs this year, number one in the MLB.
Yeah.
27 home runs. It's tough, though. Now the viewers lost the Devers talk. We even started talking football. They missed your pick of the Raiders potentially winning the AFC West.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll keep that on ice.
Yeah, we'll keep that for next episode. We'll circle back to things we missed. But
NFL talk heats up more in late summer. So
yeah, it's tough for them though. They lost some good quality content there. But hey, what can you do? But hey, Mike, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you come on. The sports guru. Look, he talked everything. I know football that got cut out. Really, we talked a little Mac Jones, a little Tua. We'll keep that for next time. Mac and Tua.
Yeah. No, we got it all. We can run that back.
We'll circle back to that, and then obviously talk about the Raiders. I like the Raiders and the Colts in the AFC, and then also we'll circle back to the Red Sox. So the last three things we talked about, Devers, the Red Sox in general, and then football, the Raiders, we kind of lost all three of those. But we'll circle back to those things. At least we got 46 minutes of this quality content. So thank you so much, Mike, the sports guru. Look at him, talking everything sports. NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, the Celtics, even though you don't watch.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, they lost the Celtics talk. They lost the Celtics talk. And they lost, hey, and you made a good point. I want this to be in the recording. A lot of the Boston teams, though, are in the best divisions. I know basketball doesn't really matter. I know they got the Nets and the Sixers in the division. It's not really as big. But the MLB, the AL East, best division in baseball, just right up there with the NL West, really good, with the Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres. But then you look at the Patriots, they got the Bills, Dolphins, and then the Bruins, the Atlantic Division, like you said already, the Lightning. So not easy to be in any Boston divisions, but hey, that's what makes Boston sports so good. They compete in the best divisions and still make it. So that's it. That's it. But hey, Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope you have me come on again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, will do.
Have a good one, kid.